the United States boils down to this. January 6th was the culmination of an attempted coup. It represented Trump's last stand, most desperate chance to halt the transfer of power. Now, you may hear those words and think, this is just another political attack on Donald Trump by people who don't like him. That's not the case. My colleagues and I all wanted an outside independent commission to investigate January 6th, similar to what we had after 9/11.
All right, well, our next guest says this committee is nothing like the 9/11 Commission. Joining us now with his take is Harvard Law School Professor Emeritus and host of The Dersh Show, Alan Dershowitz. Professor was also part of the legal team that represented Trump during his first impeachment trial. Professor, good to see you. I've been looking forward to talking to you at the end of this week. I do want to get your initial just reaction from the hearing last night.
Well, I'm wearing my Celtic shirt today, not only in preparation for the great matchup tonight, but to make an analogy. It's as if the Warriors came out yesterday and started shooting toward the basket, and the Celtics were kept off the court. And all we saw was one team scoring one after the other, missing a few layups, missing a few jump shots, but no defense, no stealing of the ball, no rebounds. That's what we saw last night. It was not a fair proceeding. And even if you say it was one-sided, it was unethical. Why was it unethical? Take, for example, President Trump's speech on January 6th. I opposed that speech. I didn't think it was done well. I didn't think he should have done it. But he said at the end of the speech he wanted people to show their voices patriotically and peacefully. They doctored the tape. They edited those words out. If a prosecutor ever did that, they'd be disbarred. You can't present part of a tape and deliberately omit the rest of the tape in order to mislead the audience, especially when the other side has no opportunity to cross-examine, no opportunity to put this on its own evidence. There's a special ethical obligation not to cheat, not to defraud the viewers. And that's exactly what the Democrats with their two Republicans did yesterday. They cheated the viewers of hearing the actual words that Donald Trump spoke. And you know, Donald Trump committed no crimes. All those recitation of crimes. It would be the same as if a leader of Black Lives Matter stood up somewhere on the West Coast and made a firebrand speech saying, you know, we're going to bring down this, we're going to do that. And then people went out and burned buildings down, and people yelled out, burn, baby, burn. No, that's not.
I think we might have lost the professor, but he's making a great point here because you did only hear one side of the story. Now, this was a hearing, not the court of law, but this hearing is set up so that they will make a recommendation to the Department of Justice, a referral to say, pick up this case. We want you to take this to a criminal court. Professor, here we have you back.
Yeah.
You're talking about how they're trying to thread this needle, essentially. I do want to play a little clip from Benny Thompson, who's the chair of this committee, and get your reaction. Listen.
Donald Trump was at the center of this conspiracy. And ultimately, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, spurred a mob of domestic enemies of the Constitution to march down the Capitol and subvert American democracy.
Look, this is like 100 speeches that have been done by radical leftists and radicals on every side, urging people to go and demonstrate. As I said before, if the leader of Black Lives Matter had been arrested for inciting violence because the speech that he made led to violent actions, I would be defending that on the ground that the First Amendment protects advocacy. It doesn't protect incitement, but it protects advocacy. So President Trump committed no crimes. Anybody who thinks he did fails to understand the First Amendment. And the shocking thing is the American Civil Liberties Union is on the wrong side of this case as usual. They're not protecting free speech. They're not protecting due process. They're not protecting the rule of law. And so, yeah, there should have been an independent commission. I wish there had been, like 9/11. People would take seriously nonpartisan, non-biased commission, but nobody should take seriously this one-sided basketball game in which only one team is allowed to shoot for the basket and the other team is not even allowed to defend. I hate to make analogies to sports, even on a night of a Celtics-Warrior game, but this is a very serious matter.
It is a serious matter. I appreciate the sports analogies. I'm a former sports reporter, so, I actually love it. I appreciate it, Professor. We're out of time. I do want to have you back, though, because there's so much more to break down, and this is only the first of 6 hearings, so there's going to be a lot more to talk about.
If I said it, I meant it. Wipe my tongue for no one.